After the surgery, I had to be under anesthesia. When I woke up, I immediately pulled the handsome to teach him a lesson. I didn't expect that when I was fully recovered, he would ask me sincerely, "Can you also lecture my brother? I am a teacher." A few days ago, in the middle of class, I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my lower abdomen. I leaned against the board and mumbled, "Self-study for the rest of the time." After that, I quickly go to the hospital. Doctor concluded that I had acute appendicitis and had to have surgery immediately. When I was lying on the hospital bed, I cried and cried because of pain, holding tightly onto the doctor's hand that operated on me and begged, "Please, doctor, give me general anesthesia before the surgery. I'm so scared of the pain." He coldly turned to look at me. I blinked my teary eyes to show my pitiful expression. For a moment, he must have been impressed by those big, round, sparkling eyes. He slowly nodded. As for me, I slowly closed my eyes and passed out. When the anesthetic wore off, I woke up in a daze and saw my mother sitting next to the hospital bed, holding my hand and smiling. Suddenly, I realized something was wrong. Something bad must have happened. After a while, my mother said, "Yvonne, don't be too stressed by work. You need time to rest, too." I squinted at my mother with a suspicious look. She continued, "When you left the operating room, you kept holding on to Dr. Nolan's hand tightly and then started talking nonsense, lecturing him. Dr. Nolan had to bend down and listen to you for 30 minutes. In the past, I laughed gleefully when I saw videos about patients' conditions after general anesthesia. But now, I can only ask myself how to bury this embarrassing thing I had done." In my head at this moment, a sensational romance title suddenly appeared, "The Wild Female Patient X the Timid, Naive Doctor." It seemed like my mother didn't care about my embarrassment. She even enjoyed recording the video and playing it for me to watch. In the video, I pulled and hugged Dr. Nolan's arm tightly, forcing him to bend down and look at me face to face. Then I put my arm around his neck and hugged him tightly. His ears were red, and I could feel the heat through the screen. Dr. Nolan seemed in a rush, but I hugged him too tightly. "Don't leave your seat or I'll give you more homework." Unexpectedly, he actually stood still. I smiled and started asking questions. "Can you guys tell me what a defining clause and a relative pronoun are?" Dr. Nolan was a little surprised and froze for a few seconds before my unexpected question, "Which, who, whom, that?" I shook my head in disappointment and immediately went into my lecture for the next 30 minutes. After watching the whole video, my attention was drawn to something else. This doctor. Well, he's very handsome. However, it's not certain because in the video, he was still wearing a surgical mask that covered his face, only revealing his attractive focus eyes. I text my best friend, "I've already passed over the prince of my life, what a waste. The doctor who operated on me seems to be quite handsome." As I text her, she continued to reply with a series of question marks. To help my best friend understand the situation better, I had to send her the video my mother had recorded. She immediately called me. I thought she would be caring and thoughtful, but she didn't. She laughed at me. Not only that, she continued, "Actually, I know you're very sober. You're just acting like that to hug this doctor. I know you well. It's okay. Think, what if he's not handsome? He's wearing a mask." "But I have a very good feeling that he is quite handsome," I said. At night, my best friend stayed to take care of me, but she slept like a pig. I woke up in the middle of the night wanting to pee, but I didn't expect to get any help from her. I carefully sat up. The wound was still throbbing. I held onto the railing and tried to crawl step by step. Suddenly, a hand appeared from somewhere. "Take my arm." "Where are you going?" I was surprised and turned around. It was a man. His eyes were a bit cold, the corners of his thin lips slightly curved up. His face was like the gentle moonlight shining on the rolling green hills. My height was only to his shoulder. Looking down, I could see his name tag. His name is Paul Nolan. "He is that Dr. Nolan." I was stunned for a few seconds, then I answered, "I'm going to the bathroom." He nodded and walked me there. It was a hot summer, so the clothes I was wearing were quite thin. I could clearly feel the contact of my skin rubbing against his strong arms. I blushed gradually, feeling that the places that were in contact with him were burning hot. Fortunately, the way to the bathroom wasn't long. Paul was waiting for me outside the bathroom door. It seemed like he had no intention of leaving. I tried to force a smile. "Dr. Nolan, you're so thoughtful." My best friend went out to find me Yvonne. Halfway through her sentence, she started to notice that there was also a doctor beside me, so she quickly changed the question. "Teacher, are you still lecturing here at this hour?" I grabbed her hand and pushed her inside. Dr. Nolan's laughter rang clearly in my ears, a very gentle laugh. He gently held my hand, stopped me from going inside. When I turned around, he softly smiled and asked, "Am I really like a student?" He was exactly my type, very polite, indifferent, and shining. His smile rarely distracted me. I answered in the most awkward way, "No, there is no student in my class as attractive as you." I was too careless and ended up telling the truth. I thought for a long time about whether I should ask for Paul's number or not. I waited for a long time, but he wasn't here today. I found out that he is doing surgery. I packed up my things and prepared to leave. When I was about to leave the hospital, I heard someone calling my name loudly. I turned around and saw Paul running towards me. "The thing is, Yvonne, can you tutor my B brother?" I was shocked. He goes on, "My younger brother is struggling at SAS school." I asked him, "Why did you choose me to tutor your brother? Was it because I was lecturing too much that day?" Paul smiled, his face full of sincerity. "Last time I heard you lecture, I found it quite interesting and easy to understand. Afterwards, I asked your mother to record the video for my younger brother to watch. Surprisingly, for the first time, he said he understood the lesson so well. Regarding tuition fees, you can rest assured, I will offer you a decent amount." I waved my hand, patted my chest. "No, Dr. Nolan, don't say that. I won't collect tuition fees. My responsibility is to cultivate people. Tutoring his younger brother means I will have more opportunities to get closer to him." When I went to Paul's house to teach, I found it strangely deserted and empty. His brothers said that their mother had passed away long ago and his father was also a doctor and rarely home. Paul's younger brother is named Henry, a very lively child, completely different from Paul. After 2 hours of teaching, I learned from him that Paul used to wear his shirt inside out all day. Without realizing it, he also mixed up his left and right shoes and insisted that it was the fashion, and even got drunk and dragged passers-by to dancing. It turns out that Paul also had such an inexperienced youth. I tried to hold back my laughter and tried to continue teaching seriously, but the more I taught, the more I felt like something was wrong. Henry is a very bright child. He understands the lesson quickly without any problem. To be exact, Henry is too good to fit Paul's descriptions. Could it be that he is really interested in me, so he deliberately finds a reason to get closer to me? I can't get my head out of it. When Henry finished studying, it was also the time Paul came home. "It's raining outside, let me take you home." This is exactly what I was waiting for. On the way back, I could clearly feel his eyes sneaking glances at me continuously. I really wished he would stop the car and confess in the rain. Thinking about it made me giggle. "Yvonne." "Yes. Why does my name sound so sweet when it comes from his mouth? There seems to be something between your teeth." Just like that, I stayed silent all the way home in shame. The next Sunday, me and the girls plan on going to this restaurant. Coincidentally, Paul was there with a friend too. "Paul, are you eating here too? You guys waiting for a table will take a long time. Why don't you join us? We're sitting right there. We just ordered." My best friend jumped in. I secretly thank her for that brilliant idea. Paul naturally sat down next to me. I turned to look at him. He was wearing a black shirt. The veins around his neck were slightly protruding. I didn't dare to look closer. Luckily, the food was quickly brought up. Distract me from this man, all hot and spicy. My girls and I love it hot. In the past few days, because I just had surgery and couldn't eat spicy food, I was dying to dine. As I was about to pick up a piece of boiled meat, Paul stopped me. "It's not good to eat too much spicy food. You just had a surgery not long ago." My friends got excited and smiling. I gently asked him, "Dr. Wu, why did you come here for dinner today?" "I came here because I saw your post." I lowered my head and poked at the bowl in confusion, my heart pounding. The meal ended quickly. My best friend quickly asked for Paul's friend's number and asked him out for a drink. Only the two of us, me and Paul, were left. He'd take me home. I bent down to unbuckle the seatbelt, but unfortunately I couldn't. Paul leaned over, holding the seatbelt with both hands, slowly unbuckle it. There was only a thin layer of fabric between us. I could clearly feel the firmness of the muscles on his arms as he pressed against me. I held my breath and awkwardly removed my hands from the seatbelt. Ouch! It seemed like I had touched his abs. Thank you. Once again, I stepped out of his car with the red face. After that day, I had no time to think about me and Paul anymore, because the teaching competition that I had prepared for a long time was about to take place. Yvonne, come to my office for a bit. The principal suddenly called me. I had a feeling that something bad was about to happen. He poured me a cup of coffee. Yvonne, you don't need to prepare for that teaching competition anymore. The council decided on Miss Sue. Sue was a new teacher who came to our school last week. There were rumors that she was the principal's niece. I definitely feel that it was unfair here. I asked for the reason why. The principal took a sip, said, "There are some things you don't need to understand. Everyone has to learn to accept and be silent because the decision has already been made. Just think of it as giving a chance to a young teacher who has just started working, as if you were leading your juniors, so that in the future you will have more opportunities than if you clarify everything now and make it difficult for everyone. But I am also a young teacher who has only been in school for 3 years. And this is also my first opportunity. I have worked hard to prepare for a whole month." The principal's words were like arrows piercing my heart. I don't know how I got out of that room and how I can get through this terrible day. Walking slowly like a lost soul to the bus stop, my bus had just left less than a minute ago. I sat down and leaned my head against the shelter at the bus stop. "Yvonne," it was Paul's voice. That's right, this bus stop was right near his hospital. I looked at him. It seemed like he had just gotten off work. I quietly bent down again, silently look away. "What's wrong?" he worried, and I suddenly wanted to burst into tears. The grievances of the whole day finally exploded at this moment. I couldn't hold back anymore and started to let tears fall as I resentfully told him what had happened. He gently comforted me and my emotions calmed down a bit. But it is still messy and dark, just like after a storm. I turned around and saw him quietly looking at me. He was wearing a blue hoodie, the hood pulled over his head, and he now looks like a high school boy. "Do you feel better now?" "A little," he told me. "Before, when I was an intern, I encountered some patients' relatives with unreasonable demands. At that time, I often go to the arcane to relieve my mood. This is a secret." Then he dragged me to that secret place, which is not of a secret, and play with me the whole evening. Finally, he asked me, "Are you still sad? You can let me touch your muscles. After touching them, I might stop being sad." I answered him honestly. He froze for a few seconds, then suddenly burst out laughing and spread his arms wide. Just this time, his kindness and his muscles really touched my heart. I really thought at that moment, he likes me, but honestly, I know it is just me daydreaming. A few days later, I took a student of mine to the hospital. As I was about to leave, I accidentally saw a young nurse confessing to Paul. I was like a thief secretly listening to their conversation. "I like you, Paul. Maybe you and I can." Paul's expression did not change, and his words became even colder, cutting her sentence. "Sorry, I have no intention of being in a relationship now, and neither will I in the future." Without needing to listen any further, I turned around and was about to leave, but I was confronted by him. He walked in front of me. I was startled, lowering my head to hide the expression on my face. "Are you sick again?" he asked. "No, I'm just bringing my student. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave first." Paul seemed to have something to say, but I quickly turn and walk away. In the evening, my best friend invited me to eat barbecue. The purpose was to soothe my wounded heart. I thought it was a deep-rooted sisterly affection, but it turned out that she also invited the handsome guy that was with Paul that day at the restaurant. He is Tom, also a doctor and a university friend of Paul. After a few shots, I started to lament. "I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sentimental again." He asked me to teach English to his brother because he worried about the kid. The restaurant was a discount, so he came by. When I am sad, he comforted me out of pity. Tom quickly shook his head. Ever since I knew him, I've never seen him in love. He rarely smiles at girls, let alone go on dates. I was even sadder. I don't remember how much I drank, but I couldn't hold on any longer and sat down in front of the restaurant. I pressed my hand against my hot red cheeks. Yvonne? A tall figure covered me. I looked up dreamily. It was an unfamiliar face, looking quite charming. My eyes were attracted by the shiny rhinestone earrings on his ears. It's me, Zane. Don't you recognize me? I tilted my head. The person you almost brought to the girls. He again tried to remind me. I suddenly remembered. In my second year, I was assigned to welcome a new student, and he was the first freshman I guided. I accidentally brought him to the girls' room. After that, we met a few times in the club. Unfortunately, he left the club a year later. Oh, you also came here for dinner, I asked. No, this is my restaurant. I just took a break now. Give me your number, he replied. I nodded, then give him my phone. Yvonne, you are so cute. Don't praise me for being cute, praise me for being pretty. Are you going alone? Let me take you home. He smiled, lift me up. No, I'm going with a friend. My best friend helped the drunken Tom walk over. Drunk Tom looked so adorable. He demanded her to take him home. Yvonne, you sit there and wait for me for a moment. I'll take him home first. His house is right here. She have no choice. I gritted my teeth and grabbed her pants. Why did you choose to take him home first? You are my best friend, not his. I swear I will never drink with you two again. She angrily staring at us. I tried to stand up, but my legs had no strength at all. I staggered forward. Zane grabbed my shirt in time, pulling me into his arms. I'll take her home. I'll take her home. I turned around and saw Paul standing there with a serious expression. I could tell there was a hint of anger in Paul's words. What are you going to use to take her home? Use that motorbike? She is drunk. Paul staring directly at Zane. I can take a taxi home with her. Zane and Paul looking at each other for a while. The chef urging Zane, he finally let go of my arm, but just before that, he whispering in my ears with his deep, warm voice. Remember to text me later when you got back? I'm really glad you were here today. At first, Paul helped me walk, but I kept falling like I am boneless. He have to carry me. I obediently lay on his back, and he stood up and lifted me off the ground. Dr. Nolan, you're so strong. A little. Dr. Nolan, are you tired after the surgery? Yeah. Dr. Nolan, do you think I'm pretty? Yeah. Dr. Nolan, why are you here? I live in this area, you forgot? Dr. Nolan, I feel like throwing up. Wait a minute, don't throw up on me. Paul stopped. He put me down. I threw up a few times. Dr. Nolan, I want water. Not far away there was a convenience store. Paul helped me sit down at the table in front of the store. Sit here and wait me. Then I will wait obediently for, when you come back I will teach you how to dance. I laughed. Paul quickly came back. He opened the cap of the water bottle and gave it to me. I took a sip and put the water bottle down. I dragged his shirt. Dr. No, lean in closer. I have a secret to tell you. Paul bowed down, put his ear close to my lips. I leaned over and kissed him passionately. I didn't refuse me. After I get the kiss that I wanted, I stare at him. I like you. I can see as his cheek turns a bit of pink. I looked at him smugly. You're blushing. Ha ha. Paul sighed silently and carried me on his back. Yvonne, you're really hopeless. When I woke up, it was already morning. The phone kept vibrating. It is my best friend. Do you remember who took you home yesterday? She seems extremely excited. Dr. Nolan? Her voice was in delight. She recounted the scene from last night to me. That guy at the restaurant was cool. I told you when you finished drinking you would find another man. But Paul, last night you fell asleep in his car. He couldn't bear to wake you up, so he called me to ask for your key. I tried to recall what happened yesterday, but the memory didn't linger much. Did you take the opportunity to do something? She smiled, as I know she remembered my drama at the hospital. No, really nothing. What a waste, she sighed. After breakfast, I saw a new message from Zane. When I opened it up, it wasn't just one text. Have you gotten home safely? Are you asleep yet? Are you awake? Sorry, I fell asleep last night, I finally reply. It's okay. Zane texts me back right away. Are you busy tonight? I want to go with you. The last time I went to the cinema was probably a year ago, so I agreed. It was still quite early when I arrived at the cinema, and Zane hadn't arrived yet, so I took some photos by myself and posted them. After a few minutes, Zane arrived. Let's get the couple seats since there are two of us. Can I join you two? A familiar voice rang out from behind. I turned around in surprise. Dr. Nolan? What a surprise. Paul turned his head and looked away. The hospital gives out free tickets. The smile on Zane's face disappeared. But I didn't notice. Happily taking the free tickets Paul giving, since it is the same movie me and Zane are planning to watch. This was a movie of the dramatic. Zane occasionally tilted his head to talk to me. Because I was too focused on the film, I tilted my head to him. When the movie ended, I went to the bathroom. Zane, can you help me carry my bag for a sec? Before Zane could nod, a hand grabbed my bag first. I was startled and looked up. It was Paul. Our eyes met. She doesn't need your help, Zane said as he reached out to grab the bag from Paul's hand, but he missed. I was stunned and stared at him with wide eyes. You two don't need to hold it. Just put my bag on the ground. When I walked out of the bathroom, circumstances forced me to be sandwiched between the two. I found a very good cafe. Let's go. Cafe is not good for your health. It is also nighttime. Paul seemed to be a bit too much today. I couldn't stand it anymore. I look at him without the usual friendly face. If there's nothing else, you can go home now. Paul stopped. I saw him clench his fists and then slowly releasing it. After a moment of silence, he grabbed my hand and ran, ignoring Zane. Before I could recover from what had just happened, he pulled me into a corner. Yvonne, are you a liar? Yesterday you said you liked me. Today you went to the movies with another guy. Paul frowned. It was the first time I saw him angry. My first kiss was to you. You are mine. Didn't you say you had no intention of relationship? I questioned. I didn't have it before, but now I do. I put on a fake, hateful expression of hesitation and watched him go from anticipation to disappointment. Then on tiptoe, pulled his collar. I kissed him. He froze. Just for a sec. Then he bent down, one hand at the back of my neck, the other firmly around my waist, and kissed me deeply. He squeezed me tighter and tighter, as there are no more space left between us. When his mother died, he feel the pain, but he know his father suffer a lot more. That was the time he decided not to fall in love or get married. Later, when he was a new intern, he was assigned to the emergency department. He often met people who were struggling between life and death. He was even more determined not to fall in love with anyone. If he didn't fall in love with anyone, there would be no bondage, and there would be no pain when he lost them. Until I met you. He smiled at me.